Motherfuckers, we back.
Back at it again.
This is the 2 Cents You Call It podcast. I'm your host, X, and I'm with my co-host, my brother, the overweight lover. Dub. Say hello to the
It's your
people.
boy Dub. We back again for episode 4.
Episode 4.
We definitely appreciate everybody for joining us for episodes 1 through 3, and we hope you have enjoyed them. And we ready for episode 4, huh?
Yeah. Today we have a special guest with us, our first guest of hopefully many more to come.
Before we introduce this guest, let me tell y'all, if y'all are going to be guests on anybody's stuff, just as black people, can we be on time?
It's CP time.
Can we learn?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Understand this.
Can we learn?
If you're gonna be on anybody's shit, and if you communicate, you communicate. Understanding is understanding.
Let's learn to be on time, black
You can
people.
be on time all you want, but you can be on time and still be ain't shit.
This-
Let's just say that.
This is our guest for today. We would like to welcome our first guest to the 2 Cent You Call This podcast. This is Corey. Welcome, Corey.
Corey.
Glad to be here.
This is our OG in the podcast game.
Oh yeah, man. So Corey, tell them a little bit about your. So if you listen to episode 3, we talked a little bit. I think was it episode 3 or 2?
It was 3.
Yeah, but we talked a little bit about how you come to this podcast just to kick back and drink and chill with us. But we said we got a couple of podcasts out there, a couple of old self-help podcasts that'll help you get through. So
Help you survive.
That's all you can do.
So Corey, tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is called Surviving the Podcast. That's all it is. I'm on season 3 myself. And we just surviving. We survived Seattle the first season. We survived Corona second season. Now we're in Survivor's Remorse season 3. It's not self-help. It's more so like be aware. Come out better, not bitter. So we talk shit over there too. We have a good time. These two guys been on my podcast plenty of time before, and we just kind of talk it out.
It's not say plenty. It's twice.
Plenty is twice.
Twice.
A guest is one time, but they could be co-hosts. They've been there more than once. So, but yeah, we had a good time, man. And it is very. A lot of people do tune in, and they really appreciate it and everything like that. So,
But yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming over. Don't take too long talking. Next time, because this is...
Yes, sir. Got it. I'll be short.
This is 2 Cents You Call It podcast. It's not surviving. Not really messing with you. We appreciate you coming on, brother.
For sure. Well, let's get things started off with how y'all know how we started. What are we drinking tonight? What you got in your glass, X?
You sure you want me to go first? I got a story behind mine.
Okay, well, I'll go first. Everybody knows what I'm drinking. I am drinking whiskey and ginger ale. This week's whiskey is Crown Vanilla. So it's just...
You doing ginger ale with the Crown Vanilla?
Yep, ginger ale with the Crown Vanilla.
Well, I'm not a social drinker. I'm a shot taker. So I was introduced to Grand Brûlot.
All right, I guess that's how you call it.
It's not mine. Lockwood Distilling Co. Bourbon cream liquor. It's kind of like a shot coffee. Is it whiskey?
That's a cream liqueur, and then that's a cognac.
Cognac.
The coffee. That's the pre-show shot that we do. So everybody that comes on our show has to take a shot.
I took 2. It was really good.
Cognac. Me myself today, I will be drinking the drink formerly known as the Brittany. Formerly known, because I told you I'm gonna stop naming them after my exes and shit. So the Brittany consists of a vanilla cognac and a vanilla whiskey, and topped off with your choice of dark soda. So either Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or Coke. Today I'll be doing Dr. Pepper diets because I'm trying to get slim fine for the summer and shit.
Yeah, so y'all just make sure y'all pour up something and kick it with us for episode 4. But so we dropped episode 3 last week on Sunday?
Yeah.
But we ended up, so was it that night or Saturday night? Saturday.
Saturday night.
Yeah, so we ended up going to karaoke night Saturday. One of my family members decided to throw a karaoke night and invited us out. So we went out there. Had a pretty good time, huh?
Yeah. It was pretty good time. I mean, you can tell it on your end. I can tell it on my end.
So, what was your end?
So, I was already out with some of my family anyway at the Wings game, and I was like, "Hey, Ken Folk is throwing a karaoke night. Like, come through if you can." So I was like, "All right." I was already out in Arlington. Had to drive out to DeSoto. So I pull up. I can't see at night as it is. It's dark. No lights are on. So first I walked to the wrong house. I had to get up on the house in order to see the address. Then it's like, okay, that's not the right house. Then I go to the next house, and I couldn't tell, is that a 3 or is that a 8? So I'm all up on there, okay. Get there, and it's like, all right, that's what it is. So I ring the doorbell, and I'm usually used to being like the biggest motherfucker in the room.
Not in my family.
But this motherfucker has a cousin that he's, what is he, like 6?
2 cousins.
6'4"?
Big D or Nunu?
Big D.
Big D is probably, I think
Pause.
he's listed at 6. I think he's listed at 6'5".
So yeah, so this motherfucker just comes up to the door. I'm like, oh shit, because you know every time you go somewhere new, you gotta kind of size up everybody in the room, see if you can take them.
Yeah, you ain't whooping none of
I
ass.
was like, all right. And then I walked around the corner and I see another motherfucker that's about 6'5". I was like, all right, I'm outnumbered in here, so let me just shut my damn mouth.
Yeah, man, we got a huge family full of huge people. So
Yeah,
but we had a good time. I mean, it was
definitely.
a bunch of drinking, bunch of singing, bunch of wrongness all around the room. We had a bunch of loose titties out there. We trying to figure out where some of these bras was for the night, but we managed all together.
Yeah, but I definitely like to say, especially with both of you two, y'all's family are actually very open, which I appreciate about both of y'all families, because y'all bring us around, and they won't make you feel like you that you're a stranger. They just make you feel like you that cousin.
Unless they don't like you.
That's a little slow that nobody mess with, so they won't bother you when you're in the corner and shit.
And we're going to play spades and dominoes. We have degrees
Definitely.
in both, and we will whoop your ass on the table in both.
Really?
Yeah,
Depends on who's
Yeah.
who's playing.
we whoopings ass. We whoopings ass. But yeah, man. So we got Corey with us this week, man. How was your week, Corey?
This week was productive, man. Work wise, it really wasn't shit. But outside of that, it was productive. I'm making some moves in my personal life. I announced some of them forthcoming months, but I got a lot of anxiety in that situation. But it's all shaping up to be good. So that's pretty much been my week.
Okay.
Walter been through it, and X gonna eventually go through it, and that's me. So.
But you had I saw that you dropped the I guess like teaser. Your next episode is getting ready to come out, right?
I dropped episode 1.
Okay, so you did drop
it. It was
okay.
episode 0, really, like a precursor. So episode 1 would be myself and Lena. We talk about, not living with regret. But episode 0, the introduction or the rollout of the show, I wrote that. I dropped that one.
Okay.
Shout out to Lena.
Yeah.
Love us some Lena.
Yeah, I would definitely see her or hear her. Hopefully,
They need to be
Hopefully.
seen. You need to
Hopefully.
see them.
Hopefully
These
seen.
two guys are hilarious, so they really need to be seen. But they just starting. But
we will definitely we have gotten a lot of requests for visual. We are definitely
characters.
looking to add that very soon. But yeah, so that's good, man. X, how was your week this week?
My week went pretty good. So we recorded on Friday. That was actually one of our favorite episodes recording.
Yeah,
but it was definitely a challenge after everything happened.
What happened? Why was episode 3 so
Let me tell you, it was just that week was just it was rough.
It
and
was
then driving out to Swap. Oh god damn, I can't talk.
It's the drink. It's the drink.
Daddy yak. walk spot, the traffic and everything, it was just, but we picked up the energy and stuff, kind of similar to today and stuff. But we,
Yeah, back to my cold food because we was waiting on X to order. But
anyways, so yeah, we recorded that. Saturday, I ended up going to a Wings game with my cousin and her husband. Shout out to Graham Fam. Shout out to JSU. They both graduates of HBCUs. We went to the Wings game, and it was actually Heritage Night, which actually fell on Juneteenth. So we watched the Wings versus the Lynx, I believe it was. Wings won. Found my new crush on the Wings, my WNBA crush. I don't know if I can come home to her and stuff. She's pretty young, so I don't need those issues in my life.
we not coming home.
She legal though, right?
Oh, she's legal.
Oh, well,
Dungy, just, you know, she got in Scrub Town and stuff. You don't have to be a star to be my superstar. Yeah.
Okay,
This is for you, you, my number one.
And then after that, it was Father's Day. I went to drop off some stuff to my pops and stuff. Got a couple of Happy Father's Day texts myself because people was congratulating me on being a father.
One of them was me.
A father for a couple of months. Cleaned out my car, found all these fucking baseball gloves and footballs in my back seat when I was trying to be a good daddy. Overall it was a good week, and then the work week went pretty smooth, and then we here today, man. And I'm excited, man.
Father's Day was it? I mean, I forgot. Yeah, shout out to that was a good week too. I talked to my dad for over 3 hours, so
that
was
good.
pretty nice.
That's what's up, man. We actually ended up taking my pops out. Me and my siblings. For those listeners out there who don't know, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and so all of my siblings actually got together and we took out my pops to a Mexican restaurant because Mexican is his favorite food.
Because y'all are like half Mexican, right?
Mm-hmm. Eskimos. What is it?
All right. So yeah, we ended up taking him out, man. And the funny situation because my mom actually ended up going with us, and so my mom and my pops are divorced, and they have been for 20 years now. And so it was weird that we all, kind of got out to lunch for Father's Day, but it was funny as well because me and my younger brother, we're always making jokes. so every time we see them in the room together, we be like, "Mama, you trying to get your man back?"
Is this your man?
She be about to cuss us out. I said, "Go ahead, girl. Get your man." But yeah, so we ended up, we went out for Father's Day, had a good time. I ended up working that night, and then, regular work week. But then we get to yesterday, man, and both of my brothers, so I have 1 older brother and 1 younger brother. And so they end up, kind of getting into it a little bit. The crazy...
Y'all all look like banana fudge popsicles.
Bitch ass. Man, yeah, so they end up, I have 1 older brother and 1 younger brother, and they ended up going out, yesterday to watch the game. I think that was, last night was who?
Phoenix and the Clippers.
Yeah, so they ended up watching that game, and so they ended up kind of having a disagreement about the game or whatnot. Long story short, it gets to the end of the argument, and, one tells the other, hey, you kind of need to shut the fuck up. And so after that, it went 0 to 100. You know what I'm saying? And so that brought up a topic. One of the topics for our discussion tonight is, when is the disrespect just too much to where we got to have a currency in exchange on these hands? Like, you got to see me at some point in time. So what's that trigger? Like, when is it, Corey, when is it too much? Like, if you, and then, well, we'll get to that, but when is it too much?
Anytime you raise your voice is too much. I mean, like, grown people should be able to discuss. Like, and we were just talking about this, like, even with your parents. Parents, y'all raise us well to be good and respectful, but you got to respect us, too. Because we got sense, and siblings, age ain't shit when it comes to siblings, because your youngest can be your smartest, and the oldest can be dumb as fuck. And if we all... have knowledge, respect it.
Let me just say this. Reva and Darren and Lavelle, y'all, none of y'all are dumb as fuck. I respect it. All of y'all. We would never throw hands.
But I mean, it's different.
Well,
I think.
Let me say this. We will never throw hands, but we have gotten very close to throwing hands, my siblings, because you have to have that respect when you on the defense.
Yeah.
Regardless, people have, everybody have their own insecurities, and where your insecurities come out the best is with your immediate family. So
Yeah, but you and your siblings are pretty close to the same age, right?
no.
Okay. Well,
And see, I think that's what, because me and my siblings have definitely thrown hands before. But I think for one, it's because the three of us that grew up in the same household are all the boys, and so we're number one, we're all boys.
Yeah.
Number two, we're closer in age because I'm the middle boy, and then my older brother is only 3 years older than me, and then my younger brother is only 4 years younger than me. So it's like, we at some point in time around them teenage years, it was like, you can catch these hands, dog.
yeah. It's WWE the house.
Yeah, like I mean, we used to fight. I mean,
Some fights don't count. It's just when you get I think what you're talking about, like.
Well, none of the fights that you lose count.
Well, I think that when you with them siblings and you fighting as a teenager, that's like. But I think what you're talking about, like as a grown man, when it's even kill. I'm grown with my own bills and issues. You grown. What that respect look like?
Yeah.
There's a tipping point, but at this age you should know by now. They should know. And he knew him telling him to shut the fuck up. He knew that was gonna get him where he need to go. So.
Yeah, man. And we was talking about that earlier this week. I think we as a culture, man, we have to normalize like having respectful and communicative disagreements.
Oh,
SAT words.
You know what I'm saying?
Use it in a sentence.
I can't even use that shit.
But no,
Sober.
we should
try to say it. No.
we should be able to communicate, man, without becoming disrespectful or attacking somebody. Like I feel like people get to that point to where they start they start talking about people or they start attacking their character when they can't get their point across or they can't adequately express how they feel on the situation. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So then we gotta resort to.
But you can't whoop me though.
Yeah. We gotta resort to either being disrespectful or coming for somebody's character. Like we have to normalize having disagreements and being able to agree to disagree without taking it to the next level.
Healthy discussion, healthy arguments.
Yeah.
We don't have them as a culture. We're very dismissive. If we don't agree, we just let's change the subject.
Yeah.
But it helps nobody. So.
Or I'm gonna talk about you. Like I'm gonna start talking about your character.
Oh yeah. We don't do that.
yeah. Shut your dumb ass up. That's the type of shit we do when when you start disagreeing with people. So I'm like, at the end of the day, there is a level of respect that has to be there, and there's a tipping point. So, X, for you, what's that tipping point? Like, what can somebody not do to you before it's time to exchange?
In my younger days, you couldn't breathe at me. And X would be in a whole nother level. But I think growing up, I had high blood pressure, so it taught me to kind of chill out on a lot of stuff. I've lost a lot of opportunities, lost scholarships, lost spots on teams because I was ready to fight coaches and stuff like that. So I had to kind of learn how to work with other people and not take it there because you grow up in certain cities and around certain people, you got to be tough. Ain't nobody gonna pull my whole card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's go time
sure.
at the drop of the hat. But after that, once you grow up, you understand you got to get a job, and you're not gonna like your boss. And you're not gonna like your coworkers. And you can't slide all the motherfuckers across the desk every time you get bad. Now, long as you don't touch me, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's the true point. Now I will check your ass if you trying to, if you talking crazy. Yeah. I'll let you know you talking to the right one today. And now if you want to take it to another level, all right, I'm good with it.
Yeah. But even then, I think I got to a point where I'll let you argue with yourself.
Well,
just to protect my peace, because you know what you're capable of. You be just arguing, looking stupid. Because you gotta, because they can take you there. You gotta find that peace. You gotta find within yourself like that. That ain't it. But I agree wholeheartedly. 100%.
I do that a lot relationships. My pops taught me that if you feel it getting to the next level, just go ahead and walk away. And a lot of my ex-girlfriends do not like that because I choose not to argue with them, and I'll be like, oh, all right, and I'll grab my keys and
I'm out. Charlie.
you can flip this whole damn apartment by yourself. I'll go. I'll come back and file a police report. And all that shit.
Let's rewind. Don't flip my shit.
It done happened a couple times.
Don't tear my shit up. Tear your own shit up. Like, no, you're gonna have to get out. But no, for sure. I kind of agree with you there. You know what I'm saying? In my adulthood, I think, you know, we all got careers. We got shit that we can lose. You know what I'm saying? So throwing these hands ain't necessarily the first course of action. Back in my younger days, for sure. Like
jumping off the top rope on your ass.
But if your petty ass is the peacemaker in your family, oh my God. I mean,
I definitely don't see you as the peacemaker.
Nah, like literally.
He's the Don King.
Yes. Egging on us.
You got 20? Who you got 20 on?
Nah, man, I be calming people down these days now. I would say, you know, back in my younger days, for sure. But, nah, I be trying to calm people down these days. Because at the end of the day, it's really not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you end up... you
lose a lot. Because I'm sure your brothers are still probably balling over.
Yeah, man. And it all depends on, you know, who the person is and how your relationship is. Like, you know, me and my younger brother, man, like, we could throw hands today and we could talk about it tomorrow and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? But me and my older brother, it might be a different story. You know what I'm saying? We might be holding on to something. And I'm like... Alright, but at the end of the day, like, life is too short. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got people passing away early, like people, you know, coming up with illnesses that you usually haven't seen in young people, and it's you know, it's starting to get to the point to where I'm gonna just let you have it and I'm gonna move on around. But that younger person is not too far away. So
it made me reach back.
Okay. So you get to the point to where you feel like you want to get to that level of putting your hands on me. Them Skippy Paps is coming. Just know that.
Don't spill that on yourself.
It's already
it's been spilled. It's a net trap.
Yeah. So let's Which y'all can't see. Which y'all can't see.
I was trying to help him with that. Look for that tattoo.
What y'all can't see right now is Corey was about to pick up something that was about to spill vinegar all over this table. Because I did it when I first got here.
You did?
I didn't know what the hell that was, but it's a net trap.
It's got a whole store in here, y'all. I mean, it's like the cool cup lady.
Okay, so let's talk about it because I told the viewers, I told the listeners on episode 1 that X is a hoarder.
X shop at Sam's, y'all. That nigga got
I do shop at Sam's.
He got Cheez-Its. He got selective chips.
He's on hoarder,
like,
man.
Somebody's gonna knock on his door in a minute, like. Cool cups ready, like,
okay,
let me get a sour pickle and peppermint. I mean, real fast.
Like, he about to open up the neighborhood store. Like, all you need is the dude coming around with the elotes and the chicharrones. Like,
y'all ain't shit. I just want to say that on the record.
We love them though.
For the 15th time.
But if a storm hit, this is where I'm coming.
But let me tell y'all, this is how y'all know I wasn't lying on the early episodes. I told y'all, man, X is a hoarder. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't call him a hoarder, but he got some stuff. Like, anything you need batteries. He's probably gonna pull some for you right now. He got it in shoes, man. I'm telling you.
Tell you, when you live alone and your family leaves you.
Not the family.
That's your family.
You gotta fend for yourself.
Get it all.
No, in real talk, he wasn't lying about cleaning out his car because I'm looking at a mini football right now, and I know his hands is way too big for it.
If I go in that closet, it's a baseball glove for me, and it's a baseball glove for Kaden.
Oh, you was playing dad.
Oh yeah, I was trying.
That's why.
What's up on that? Are you like still in life or anything? Or?
Am I still in life?
Am I still living?
In their life? Nah. Yeah. We speak every once in a while. I just check up on her because she's had a rough past.
Yeah.
And I won't put all that stuff out there, but so I just check on her every once in a while. She's got a new boyfriend. She like right after we ended, she got her own place and stuff like that.
So you can't come home because
somebody else. What did Robert say? You come home to find all of your porridge was gone if you don't stop. So yeah,
I quit.
that was.
I'm
that
walking
was,
off the shelf at this time.
That was a woman's threat, and she followed through. Nah, I'm
She was
messing
out
with
of there
y'all.
on your ass.
Nah, but yeah, man, I try to keep up.
With the kids.
I try to keep not necessarily kids and stuff because they got their own. Their dads are in their lives.
Okay.
But I try to keep with her, make sure that they're good and stuff. Every once in a while, she'll reach out if she needs some help.
That's good though.
Like finding resources and stuff like that, and I'll be like, yeah, let me point you over here and stuff like that. But any of my exes, they can reach out to me and I won't shun them.
That's important.
A lot of people don't. Wait, how you feel about that, Corey?
I think that's good. I think
Are you
that's
still
good.
you still friends with some of your exes?
Yeah.
Would you still be friends with them when you're in
When
a
they're
new
dating,
relationship?
yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
what
it's a
about you?
respect because you got to understand that's your before, and that shouldn't have anything to do with your current relationship.
See, that's how I feel
Yeah.
and stuff. How you feel? What about the what? It ain't a roach. it's just marks on the wall.
Nah, but I agree. You know, definitely, especially, well, it depends on how it ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a tumultuous relationship to where it ended in a manner to where we just, like, because, you know, you see and hear about the horror stories about, you know, how old girl done slashed your tires
and
or left your shit on blocks. Nah, I'm telling you, if you do that to me, we ain't got nothing to say.
But that's
other
how
than,
you know that pussy is fire.
Right.
Nah, I don't care how good the box is. You after that, we got the box. Or we yeah, nah, but it all depends on how it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely possible to stay on good terms and you know, be a source or a resource that they can reach out to. But at the same time, like I said, I think it depends on who it is and what happened in the situation.
Time heals all wounds for everything.
It is.
I think, you know, nobody got murdered or put in jail.
What's it called?
It's just you move on.
Time will not heal tattoo wounds. So.
Now you shouldn't be tattooing nobody on your body but yourself.
Well, nah, we got another brother, Mike. He in the background and stuff. He's trying to find some.
Oh,
I can't find it.
tattoo. Y'all, it's like I want to go to commercial break to go buy him some tattoo. He's been around here with a
I think
flashlight.
it's a Neosporin like in that.
I just use that the lotion.
Oh,
This one here.
Anyway,
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm sorry, y'all. I got ADD. I be all over the place.
I think you're fine. I think you're all right.
But yeah, man. Other than that, everybody week was good. Nothing else.
Yeah, no. Very positive.
Yeah, man. I think you end up coming up on another clip for this week, huh?
Oh yeah. So, you call it. Send me this clip. And wanted us to talk about it. So, apparently, Michael B. Jordan, he has started a new rum line, and he called it Juve. So I had to research Juve and had to listen to see exactly what it was. Mm-hmm. So apparently, it was a Trinidadian holiday that started from when slave masters had the slaves working the sugarcane and stuff and burned it, and they would make fun of the slaves and stuff because they would make them work the fields. And then once revolution, all that stuff happened and they were free, they turned Juve into a celebration. So now it's celebrated across America. I know it's big in New York and a lot of Caribbean cultures and stuff like that. It's just a carnival. So he decided to name it after that. And Caribbean people, they were upset about it, basically saying that you're cultural appropriating us. So it's kind of a touchy subject. So he decided to change the name of his rum line because people may find it disrespectful because he doesn't know the full story of Juve. In his mind, he was just saying it's a celebration of rum.
Yeah, and I think in his initial comments, he actually said it was like, paying homage.
Yeah.
When he named it. So, I mean, what you feel about it, Corey?
You go first, because I have a lot to say about this.
I mean, I get, at the end of the day, I get both sides. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, as black people, I feel like we have gotten up in arms or offended when somebody tries to profit off of the culture that, quote unquote, we coin or,
Yeah.
Our culture. Just as, when you see white people wearing dreads or braids or, a white
They call
rapper.
them locks.
Yeah.
Don't call them dreads.
Okay.
I got y'all. There's nothing dreadful about y'all beautiful locks. Let me hey, when we we performed at what was that?
The African American.
African dance team show. They had a lot of dreads in there. Let me tell you,
it was beautiful.
those women
Beautiful.
are beautiful. Their hair is beautiful. So if you tend to listen to this,
We coming home.
Yeah.
No, but so back to the story, man. I see, both sides of it. I see where they could be offended by it, but at the same time, like I said, I feel like he said even that he was paying homage, but I could see, how they could feel like, somebody was profiting off of their culture. So I could see why they, how they could be offended by it. What about you?
I can see that. I can definitely see that. But at the same time,
I'm reading this statement. He said, I just want to say on behalf of myself and my partners, our intention was never to offend or hurt a culture we love and respect and hope to celebrate and shine a positive light on. Last few days have been a lot of listening, a lot of learning, and engaging in countless community conversations. We hear you, I hear you, and want to be clear that we are in the process of renaming. We sincerely apologize. Me personally,
Okay.
I feel like we want to take everything and kind of hold it. Now, mind you, okay, Juve is, the point of it is a celebration of like slavery revolt. We as African Americans, we revolted from slavery at one point. We had some unsuccessful attempts with Crispus Attucks, etc.
Yeah.
But I see where Michael B. Jordan, he is an African American man. He is black. We don't have, he can't trace back, well, he's not Caribbean. He's not, of that descent. But the naming of the word, the point of the word is a celebration.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking on in there. Everything, celebration. So I can see why he named it. Why go up in arms
yeah.
for that? Because I'm going to be honest with you. If he was non-famous and it came out, it would be nothing said.
Yeah.
People will be going to there buy it because, this is our whole culture out here. We always think white is right. But we're held to a different regard when it comes to us. Because we don't counsel other... There's a lot of things out in this world that are really culturally misappropriated, and we don't protest it. We use it. So
let me ask y'all this: do you feel like the African American is the bastard child of not only black but the world? Because essentially, African Americans, we've lost all of our culture before. We can probably trace back to maybe
coast of Africa,
maybe three generations, maybe 2 slavery, if that. With me, my great grandfather changed his name because he got into some issues, so it stops right there. So we can't figure out. So I would love to know if I'm Kenyan or if I'm Nigerian or if I'm Sierra Leone or exactly. So are we the bastard child because we don't really have... I can't say that we don't have our own identity because we just kind of made it our own and we got this big blend of things we do. But we're kind of just out there because,
I differ in my discussion with that because I think we are America. Yeah,
Okay.
We're African American, but we are America. America was shaped off our backs.
Yeah.
Our ancestors did the work. Our food, our culture, the way we work, the way we look, the way everything we do, and they've taken it and they've made it European. But it's a cleaner look when it becomes, because of course white is right, black is always some dirtier. And I think across the world, globally, anybody who's of a darker melanin, they are ostracized. Because even in London, black Londons have issues, and in other parts of the country, Asian in China they went through a whole spell where they were removing Africans or people of that descent from their country. So I think as a whole, I wouldn't say we're bastardized. I think that we've been so submerged and heavily suppressed that they want us to, like with this critical race theory crap that's going on. They're trying to make us erase ourselves more and more and more because they've accepted us. And like you look at Netflix, that High on the Hog. Have you watched it?
I haven't.
You should watch it. It really talks about how when they brought us here from slavery, the largest crop was rice. Before cotton became a thing, that's how America made their money. Rice came from Africa. So when they brought the slaves over on their transport, that's what they brought over here. So they stole from us, and now we look like we're thieves because we're trying to take it back. You know, why they say blonde hairs, that should be for whites only and stuff. And so we look stupid. We're trying to go blonde as the women are trying to express themselves. It's like we are, if you really look at our music, Elvis
we're
Presley
definitely
versus, you know, so
ingrained.
we
into
are
everything.
here. And I think that we have a culture. Now, I will say it's hard for us to trace ourselves because if you go back into slavery, they had breeding camps. Well, remember when they stopped slavery from you bringing Africans over, they started creating breeding camps where they had just churn out more and more slaves.
Yeah.
So in that, it muddied, and also slave owners was putting their stuff in. So we're just a whole Creole and a whole mix. But
Especially looking across the table, I got two
right.
slave owners.
Yeah, I mean, my great grandfather was the son of a slave master.
But so in saying that, do you feel like they may have when I say they, I mean the Trinidadian culture that had an issue with him naming that Juve? Do you think that they had an adequate plight with that? And I say that because going back to the verses. So Timbaland and Swiss Beats had the verses, right? And so when Timbaland kept playing Justin Timberlake songs, Swiss said, I don't want to hear another Justin Timberlake song until he come and pay homage to the culture, or till he come and show his face to the culture that he took.
That's why I asked you why he was on your 5 albums.
Yeah. So that I say that in saying that we as a culture feel when somebody steps into our culture or takes from our culture and makes it their own, then we have an issue with it. So do you think that they actually had a valid point about
everybody has their feeling. They have their emotion. I applaud them for making that statement that stands. I'm just saying, as Michael B. Jordan, I probably wouldn't have been so quick to change it, but I would have accepted and would have learned from it because his interpretation was all about celebration. And he Caribbean, it still comes from a descent of us from over there. And even though he's not of that lineage, I get it, but I do respect them because one thing about it that they stood on it and he got changed. But my question is, just to throw a wrench in it, if it wasn't Michael B. Jordan, if it was Ben Affleck, would they have done the same thing?
Fleck?
Fleck, yeah.
Affleck. Not Affleck, but Ben Affleck.
All right. So let me say this though. And get y'all opinions on this because us as African Americans, we have stepped in plenty of times. So even when our brothers of the lighter hue were rocking their locks, we said that was appropriating, and things like this, and we will stand up for these other cultures. Okay, so since we can't trace our roots all the way back for the most part. How do you feel? Because I know the strain on African American and the African relationship is not that great, because they feel like we're not true Africans. Even this week I saw a graphic where it was talking about black and brown relations. So it had like African American, and then African American was like the darker ones, darker hand, and then everybody else's hands was a little light, and they had like Dominicans and Cubans and Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. And a lot of them, they'll get offended when you say they're black. Even like Jamaicans, you'll be like, "Oh, you're black," and you'll be like, "No, I'm Jamaican." But I thought we were all part of this whole thing.
It's like people from Dallas. When you say from the South Side, "No, I'm Oak Cliff." It's all the same to me.
That's how you see it. Why you have to use Dallas? Though?
Right, because he could have
Because
used Houston.
Houston don't do that.
I'm from A-Leaf.
If you
or
don't do that,
you're
if you
lying.
say I'm from the South, yeah, I'm from the South, and they'll say what part? A-Leaf, South Park, 3rd Ward, only in Dallas.
So y'all
you from
check-
South Dallas? No, I'm from Oak Cliff. Baby, recognize you.
They
like,
do the same
y'all-
thing.
y'all
we
do
do
that.
not.
They
No,
the
we
same
do
thing
not.
in
People
Houston.
say you from the South. They say I'm from the North. I'm from the South. They say,
When
what part?
when somebody say they from West, what's that proper party?
It's,
Westheimer, West.
No, don't nobody say that.
None of
But
them.
I'm just saying.
What if they
in-
say like I'm from Houston? They start ripping 3rd Ward.
And they say, "Oh, you from the South
Nah,
Side?"
'cause
and
then they be
don't-
like, "No, I'm from
in
Fifth
Da-
Ward."
in-
Nah.
only in Dallas. But I
Nah.
was getting what you said. I was just saying only in Dallas. Being that I'm from Houston, growing up in Houston, being an adult now in Houston, when you go back home and somebody say, "Wait, I'm from the South Side." Oh, what part? 3rd Ward. Where you from? North Side. What part? 5th Ward, Studewood. It's just north to south, and you go into detail. But in Dallas,
at my face.
it's like, oh, I'm not from South Dallas. I'm from Oak Cliff.
I
But
think-
I understand it
I think
because
that's those are the only two that do that. Because
Yeah.
if somebody say Dallas, and then when you start talking about like suburbs and stuff like that, because some people say they from Dallas, but they be like, oh, what school you go to? You be like Garland. Be like, oh, nah, you ain't really from Dallas. You
Nah,
from the
dead ass.
suburbs and stuff like that. But outside of that, it's like North
all I'm saying,
Dallas,
it's a part. Like,
North Dallas, South Dallas, Oak Cliff.
but if you're not from
Pleasant
here,
Grove.
if you're not from here, and you say where you from? Oak Cliff. Oh, okay, you from the South Side. No, I'm not from South Dallas. It's like it's a correction. So I'm just saying
would
that
say
it's not.
South Dallas.
Yeah, it's not. I'm just saying that it's from you not being from here, it becomes an issue. That's all. And I'm not saying like that. I think it's the same because it's such looked as bad of being black. It's so look they was so
I
looked
feel
as
like
being
it's-
black.
I feel
They
like
want to
it's a shot at
specify that. Oh, I'm black. Oh no, I'm not black. I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not from South Dallas. I'm from Oak Cliff. It's like you want to
I got
specify
you.
to try to
I got
remove
you.
yourself because it's something associated with South Dallas. Like it's not. You got to get specific, and I think the specificity of it all is the same.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can see what you're saying there. I think you're totally wrong about the Houston stuff, but that's another topic.
And I just
Another
want y'all to
topic for
call
another
in.
day.
What you call them? 2 cents.
The you call it.
Call it. You call it. Comment. Anybody from Houston? Tell me if you get offended if somebody say, "Where you from?" I'm from the South Side.
That
And
would be
they'll say what?
that would be a 2 cents. You call
Yeah.
this is the
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
you-
wanted
you
because
can put in your 2
being
cents
from
on that.
Houston. Yeah, it don't exist. But
Yeah, but nah, I can see both. Like I said, I can see both sides of it.
Are those Bugle Boy jeans you wearing? Hell no, girl. You know these polo.
see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but I can see both sides of it.
All I
man.
know is if y'all think
You got loud.
that I came play around with y'all,
God damn it, I
God
didn't.
damn it, I didn't. So did you see that video? So shout out to Ronnie O'Dell. He was on trial for double murder.
And that part not funny, so we're not laughing at
Not
that point.
laughing at
But
that part.
if you
So
haven't
he
seen
chose,
the YouTube
he
video,
chose to not get a public defender or his own lawyer, and he chose to defend himself.
he said, "I'm representing myself," and then he said, "If y'all thought I came to play with y'all today, God damn it, I didn't."
And what the court say?
She said, "Mr. O'Neal, you need to calm down." And
Stop using
he was-
profanity
he
in the
was-
court.
He was found guilty.
Yeah, he did. But what? Come on now.
He was found guilty.
How was he gonna be found innocent? Like that was the better
Found
question. Like, first of all, now look, I'm all about not judging the book by its cover.
Well,
But had you seen this young man in this video, you'd have been like, he did that shit. He's you know how Tariq was like, whatever they said Ghost did, he did that shit. No, whatever they said this man did, in the
whatever he
video,
did, they said he did.
he did that
He
shit.
was a kid.
Nah, he had to be in his
Grown
30s. Yeah, he had to be
Oh,
late 30s
yeah,
maybe. Yeah, but I'm telling y'all that it was a bad choice. Life is about choices, man. You got to make better ones.
Speaking of court,
Speaking of court,
Zimmerman just got 22 years. Well, he was
Zimmerman?
sentenced to not Zimmerman. You know who I'm talking
Chauvin.
about. Chauvin. It's been so much. You get all these damn
It's
these
the
damn
alcohol.
cases.
It's okay.
It's the-
You get these cases
They all
mixed
look
up.
alike.
Yeah. So Chauvin, he got 22 years.
22 years.
I believe he has to serve 15 before he can come before parole.
And then parole was how many years? Oh, yeah, 15
And then,
before,
and then the 7 after would be parole if he gets the parole. What do y'all think about that?
I'll let Corey go.
I think that I'm gonna say this. I know everybody. We as a race, we've been oppressed and we've been mistreated and ostracized. People have gotten away with way worse for so long that they're not gonna throw the book at him. So the 22 years, yeah, it might not look like a lot, but I know people who murder people who've served way less. So him getting 22 years, there are also federal charges that he's awaiting to be brought upon. So he'll end up doing. I think overall he'll end up doing that full 22 when all those charges come out and he get it combined. So yeah, it feels like it's not a lot, but his family, Floyd's family, has been handsomely paid. It won't bring him back, but also I think justice was served. It's a process, y'all. The system is broken. Police officers don't even see the courthouse at all, and for him to be able to, it's a sort of show it's a change coming. So, I'm okay with the 22. I'm not happy. I'm not saying he should be given a chance, but hey, 22 is a lot because what's the old girl from Dallas? What she got? 15, and then she's trying to peel it or whatever.
Yeah.
So. And she killed him. She
Cold
blooded killed him in his own home, and all she got was what, 15.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
and
it.
And then it's Jordan out in Seagoville.
Yeah.
He got off pretty light too.
But that black cop that killed that white lady by accident in was it Minnesota?
In Minnesota,
threw the book at his ass and took his license, police officer badge, everything. So yeah, systemic. Broken.
So,
like a broken.
When I was actually surprised by it, and I know we shouldn't because you should think
that
would.
It's
sad, right? It's depressing.
I got so anxious when they read the verdict. In the case. You was like, oh, it's guilty. Oh wow.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then you come back to reality and be like, oh well, he ain't gonna do nothing but 2 years,
right?
And they gonna let him out,
right?
And they say 22. If 15 is even more than normal. So
yeah, and so I mean, I think that for me, was more so a breath of fresh air because I feel like it's a start. I mean, obviously, they didn't give him what they could have given him for murder, but I feel like it at least shows that we could possibly be getting into the right direction as far as them being held accountable, and not to say that because I'm not anti-police at all. Like I feel like the police are very necessary. I feel like there is a lot of good police officers. I personally know a lot of good.
I think we all know.
I know a lot of good black people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of good black people.
And so I definitely don't think that it's. They should all be grouped in, but what I will say is that at the end of the day, if you're not speaking out about it, you're part of the problem as well.
Definitely.
Like, if you're not holding your counterpart accountable for what they're doing and the mistreatment.
Yeah, you're not trying to go over that blue wall.
But let's stick a pin right there.
Okay.
So a white person who comes and advocates and speaks for us, why when they do speak for us, we then start saying, now you want we tear them up too. Let's think about it.
And I just talked to my sister about that actually earlier today.
Your sister white?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. We just talked about that earlier today because she was talking about the company that she works for. She works in HR, and she was talking about the company that she works for. Like the CEO of the company has been like making so many good strides to try to diversify the company, to try to be all inclusive and to recognize everybody. And when Juneteenth came and ended up becoming a national holiday, even before that, he gave the company Juneteenth off, and he recognized it. You know
That's
what I'm
dope.
saying? That is, and so he has like a spot in the company that is, you know, dedicated to diversifying the company.
Right.
And this was well before, you know, Juneteenth was made a national holiday. And so you still had like people on the Facebook page, like people that work there on the Facebook page saying, you know, how he's still not doing enough. And if you look at the top, it's still the all of the board is still either white male or female.
Well, yeah.
And that's true. That's true. But at the same time, if he decided to make this, like he decided to wake up and say that I want to take care of this situation a couple of years ago, it takes time to replace those, you know, those positions. Like you can't just up and say, oh, I'm a clean house and I gotta fire everybody because they white. We can't expect somebody to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, to your point, like as a culture, we have to start saying that I can see the change. It's not gonna happen tomorrow.
I think we've grown impatient. Even with our voting. So me, I am a registered Democrat, but I'm not a Democrat in my voting. So if I do see somebody that's independent, or if I see somebody that's a Republican that'd be better for the office, I'll vote that way. I'm not just straight Democrat. And I think a lot of people just think that black people just want to vote Democrat anyway. So the people that don't vote is like, okay, we tried voting and they're not doing shit for us. Even now, I'm looking at the administration like, okay, all right, what are y'all doing for us? And
you made promises.
Made promise to us. You say you're gonna do all this stuff. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, they're blocking it. Okay, what are you doing with these executive orders and
Can't do
stuff
nothing.
like that? So,
But I hear you, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we as a people, we're so angry that we're hard to work with. And when I say by this, we could really use the allies. Talking about the African Americans and just talking about how when it came out about the George Floyd, people were so angry about white people out there marching for Black Lives Matter and stuff. He was like, they don't know my struggle. But guess what? They feel it. That's the whole point of the Martin Luther Kings and the March on Washington. We want to come as one. And if we're starting to diversify, yeah. So
Go ahead.
that's great. Yeah, if we diversify, that's what we should be accepting. So, you know.
yeah, I mean, it's necessary to have those allies and stuff like that. I think we just got to the point where we were just tired of everything, and we have those people that's willing to stay on that end, and we have the people that's willing to come to the middle. So I think a lot of black people are not necessarily Democrat or Republican or far left or far right.
Yeah,
we're definitely, I think for the most part, like most of us, we've been very centered. Because I took a test and it says I'm more left leaning, but I'm not far left. I'm like right in the middle, like center.
You're conservative.
Left.
You're conservative liberal.
Yeah.
Liberal. Like I don't agree with the Democratic initiative all the way, but I am mostly Democratic because they do push for people who are like me. You know, I'm not rich.
Yeah.
My family's not rich, and so you know when you talk about those type of things, that's I think to me. You know what? I think to me though, it's very.
He went off, huh? He got a little. Okay.
I think to me,
You gotta let change it.
I think to me, it's so important that people
You
need
got
to
it.
start
Ball out.
registering, really register voting. That's what I think. That's why I struggle with white people that are Republican who don't have a pot to piss in or the one to throw it out of because Republicans are not voting for their interests. But beyond that, I think as Democrats or as blacks, we are very impatient. Like you said it. Biden and them made promises. The man been in office for 5 months, 6 months. Trump was in office for 4 years. He did absolutely nothing. People complained, but they complained in their own circles. But you can see in 2020, before 2020, what the black people say why they didn't vote. My vote don't count. 2020 showed That was the largest turnout ever. We had COVID. People were really engaged. You had no choice but to watch TV and really know what was going on. And people got out and voted. Now that we got out and voted, what happened? We got out and voted, and the thing what ended up coming out about it is that what we ended up start doing was people started saying, "Oh, okay, now Republicans starting to change the rules in these red states. They want to gerrymander even more to where however many black people vote, the vote's still gonna turn out red." So I think at any time, of course, it takes time. You got to understand the president is the head, but the Senate and the House runs everything. We don't have a overwhelming majority in the Senate. It's 50-50. The filibuster's in place. Like Obama. People say Obama did nothing for black people. He couldn't because the Congress didn't move his initiatives at all. And the same thing they did to Obama, weak-ass Mitch and his cronies are doing the same thing. And it's on tape. It's recorded. And just last year, the Republicans were doing things to really mess us over. They was going above and beyond. They was changing the rule. They was voting. They voted that Supreme Court judge in, and they wouldn't even let Obama nominate one because it was election year. It's the hypocrisy of it all. But I feel like we as African Americans, we showed right now in 2020 our vote matters, and I think we have to build upon that. I don't think we be like, now what you gonna do for us? Yeah, a lot of people, I was so crunk about Biden because he was gonna forgive student loans, but oh boy, he got so hoping. But see, he got to get that buy-in from the Republicans, and so you got the filibuster. But the Republicans don't. Republicans were very strategic. One thing about them, they don't like each other, but they vote together. Yeah. And they eliminated the filibuster all last year to get all their people in with a simple majority. Everything they wanted passed, it got passed by a simple majority. Here we are as Democrats, we can't even come together and vote that out. They saying, well, I want to work with them. The For the People Act, it got canceled. The Civil Rights Act got canceled when the Supreme Court judge came in, I forget his name, John Williams, or what's the man's name? He's big time. I can't remember his name. He eliminated the Civil Rights Act because he said it was biased. Yeah. So that let all red states and every state do their own thing. That's what they're doing now. And now you got every state, Georgia, Texas, and the Supreme Court is suing Georgia, but Texas vote bill is even worse. Y'all talk about, that's why I say we as African Americans, we got to understand, we have power. We have buying power. Gucci and all these names, there wouldn't be shit. Jordan without African Americans because we are about it. And so I think when it comes to the power, it's the same thing.
Let me tell you this, though, Corey. If the Democrats don't do shit for me, if the Republicans don't do shit for me, I know who's going to do something for me. Y'all want to know who's going to do it for me?
God.
Prairie View University.
Okay, yeah.
When I slide through for their homecoming.
Now, that so we were just talking about student loans. Yeah, shout out to the HBCUs. Look, that's what I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna switch lanes. I am definitely looking forward to the world being back open for these homecomings, y'all.
Let me tell you. Hey, y'all, support HBCUs. UTD.
Definitely. Bye.
Support those non-traditional schools like UTD as well.
Thank
they
you.
need love too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Support HBCUs.
Yeah,
UTD.
So everybody knows that homecoming football season is back on the rise for the fall, and with that comes homecoming, and I am excited.
So we got actually three brothers in the room. That's PV.
We did Sandy Prairie View
y'all just got a grant, didn't you?
Another one
from Google.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, okay. So what? We'll just have a moment for PV just to shout y'all out. So what is the story? Because I saw something.
Shut us up.
On,
that's what it sounds like.
I saw the story. Y'all used to be a plantation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plantation. And y'all have grown. And every time I go out there, I would have never thought that it was a plantation and stuff like that. But I definitely have a great time every time I go out there.
For sure.
Somebody that went to a PWI, for my people that don't know what that means, it's predominantly white institution. But I want to travel to all the HBCUs.
Yes, we are definitely looking forward to homecoming season.
You right, brother?
Yeah. To homecoming season and getting back on the yard. I cannot wait for football season this year. Now that the world has said,
who gonna take the sweat?
With two new teams in the SWAC this year,
You got Deion Sanders in the
Y'all
SWAC.
got FAMU in
we
there
got
too,
FAMU and BCU. So
But you got
I
Deion
mean,
Sanders too.
yeah,
Well,
Deion
his
Sanders at
school
JSU.
didn't do.
Well, he inherited that team. His team will show up this fall.
You think so?
But
Yeah, this is his recruit.
But I'm all about halftime for this season. We're going to welcome Bethune-Cookman and FAMU into the SWAC.
You still be out there beating your damn drum.
He's stupid.
Yeah, but no, I am happy for the return of
The Marching Storm.
Yes.
360 strong.
Yeah, I vote for
That
it.
ain't even an incoming class
Anyways,
counted upon it at 400 plus this year.
Hey,
Hope
world
that sound
fame and the jukebox. I root for y'all.
You don't even know who is over.
Who is world fame? Do you know what school that is?
It's GSU.
All right,
Georgia
so,
State? I'm just
Say
saying.
so.
Shout out to world.
I'll-
Shout out to all SWAC.
I'll fight all
shout
y'all
out
in
to the
here.
SWAC. You
We
won't-
turn
you
over
won't-
this.
we just
Turn
told
over this furniture. 3-on-1. What's up?
Well, if we turn over this punch, we got to move all those chips.
we got to move the storm out of
Move the
here.
store out of here first.
Yeah, but man, this has been another good one. I enjoyed
We did
recording tonight as late as Corey was.
Yeah, he
I-
showed up. You know, about 5 hours.
Delayed but not denied.
5 hours late. He's out there.
5
A dream
hours late.
deferred.
Shout out to my business partner Jenny. You know, we was out there in the streets of East
Playing-
Texas and
playing house.
It was an emergency that came upon.
And Corey had to
and
provide first aid, and
He's
we
over there
appreciate
with his white coat on and shit.
we appreciate Corey for providing.
You know,
first aid.
with people like this in your life, you don't
Who
need
the
no
enemies?
enemies. None.
Let me say, man, I appreciate both of y'all brothers.
Definitely, I appreciate. Hey,
and we
no,
even-
no. Let me
How
get.
how we all meet?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a minute. But let me give you your flowers because
My flowers.
yes,
Thank
man.
you. Let me spell
Yes,
them.
man.
Hit 'em.
Because this podcast, X was the visionary for this podcast. As I said in episode 1, you know, he decided that he wanted to do this maybe like 2 years ago, and he, you know, put everything together. He said he wanted to do this. He had a vision.
You gonna make me cry.
He had a vision, man, and I just want to give you your flowers, man, because you are the epitome of resilience. Yeah, and a brother. Like you know, you put this thing together and you was like, hey, let's do it. And you know, whether the views come, whether the comments or the likes or subscriptions come, you know, whether any of it comes, man, I just want to say that I appreciate you. I appreciate you for putting it together. I appreciate you for, you know, inviting me as your co-host, and
appreciate
man,
that,
I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this podcast, man, and I can't wait for many more episodes, brother.
Man, it's definitely a pleasure to be here with you, Corey. I'm glad that you was on this episode.
Oh yeah, man.
I met both of you brothers when I first met y'all. I thought y'all was brothers.
I don't know. Tell people why. Is it because we fat and light skinned?
Yes,
That's
y'all
what it is.
and y'all play the same fucking instrument and went to the same fucking school.
10 years apart.
Was it that me and my brothers are 10 years apart? We look just the same.
Yeah.
Walter got white folks hair.
Okay.
My hair is
What?
made of carpet. Now I'm bald.
But definitely, man, I appreciate both of y'all brothers. I met Corey.
I was his advisor.
Yeah, he was my advisor in college. And I used to always get on him about being, everybody would ask me how old he was, and I would tell him he's like 50 years old.
He did.
Corey's like, what? You about
40.
8 years older than me, maybe?
40.
You about 8 years
Yeah, I'm
in
40.
life. You
I'm
40.
40, so
So yeah, and then you'll be 41
41
in September, and I'll be 33. So 8 years older than me.
yeah.
Walt is a
Same
year and a
y'all.
half younger than me.
Yeah.
So I
Definitely,
just
you can definitely tell big brother, little brother with those two.
yeah.
Bye.
Well, shit, Walt got his life together more than I got it together. You be like, damn.
Nah, bro. Stop.
Your little-
No.
your
Stop
little
doing,
brother got it.
No. Stop.
X got
Stop
his
doing
life
that.
together.
Definitely.
X really
Definitely.
be set himself short, y'all. I just want to say that I know we on borrowed time, but X really got it.
Yeah,
X is
man.
a brother's brother.
For sure.
X is one of the brothers you can call him. Hey, come. We finna whoop somebody, and he be like, "Let's go."
Man.
He don't ask no questions. He don't do. You need. I
Don't
need
leak
you to
that
help
part
me
of my
do
life
the
out there.
college.
Yeah.
Don't leak that
Hey,
part
but
of
you
my
know,
life out there.
people need to know that because you don't find that no more. Everybody's by a show. People
Yeah,
just
yeah,
say,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
I'm
It is.
man, I'm a good," and then you call them, man. I got X don't ask no questions. Right? Every time I ask X, and same vice versa, but every time I ask X, he's always been there. He's been a damn good brother.
Are we gonna talk about one-sided friendships?
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
That's coming up too.
It's coming up.
I won't be here. I'll be listening in. And y'all need to listen to these brothers.
We appreciate it. Okay, Corey. Can you tell the people what your podcast is again?
Well, y'all, we got an alarm cut on. You know, our dad over here put us on a time restraint. So let me just say, you can find my podcast at Surviving Without the G, SURVIVIN apostrophe. The podcast is on Apple. It's on Spotify, Google, all that. And then I record live sometimes on YouTube, TV, and Facebook.
Okay, you have any social media that you want to put out there that you want the people to find you on?
It's not, I don't update it, so it'll be wasteless. It'll be useless. But
Awesome.
if you go to Facebook and type in the same thing, Surviving the Podcast, I have a followers page. Follow me there. Follow me on YouTube. That's your best bet. I'm really out for social media, but my when it comes to my podcast, I'm very present in that realm.
That's what's up, man. Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
You're not welcome.
Thank you for the listeners that are going to be listening to this.
Yeah.
That is X. I am Dub. This is the 2 Cents You Call It podcast.
This Dub.
You can agree with us. You can disagree with us. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Or come back.
Fuck you.
Come back.
But that's just our 2 cents on it, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right.